right. Good morning, folks. Michael Henry here coming to you from Cleveland, Ohio markets. And I have the pleasure today to introduce Spencer Hadbavny, one of our new business partners here at EXP in Cleveland with our team. Welcome, Spencer.
Thank you so much, Michael. I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you for inviting me to be on this call.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, we're thrilled to have you. And, for those who don't know Spencer, he's been an inspiration, just watching him go through this process of becoming licensed. And we'll tell you a little bit about that. But before we do so, wanted to jump in by, just Spencer, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you're from, all of the things.
Of course. First off, I was born in Portland, Oregon, and when I was a baby, I suffered a lack of oxygen to my brain that led to my diagnosis of cerebral palsy at the age of 3, and that's when my family and my siblings moved to Cleveland, Ohio, and I grew up in Sugar Falls, Ohio as well, and I dealt with a lot of challenges and obstacles as a kid growing up, dealing with having CP, and that's always been my motivation, just to keep trying and never give up.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we've witnessed that. What you went through just to get licensed was, incredible. Your resilience and pushing through that. Tell me about what it was like, growing up with CP. You went through, traditional school systems, as I understand.
Yes, I did. It was a bit challenging, but for the most part, I had good friends that always had my back, and I was treated like everyone else. On occasion, I would be teased, but it wasn't as bad as some scenarios. And throughout my education, I was placed in special ed, which that was challenging for me to be in that classroom, because I didn't 100% feel like I was supposed to be in that room. But I also knew that I had my learning difficulties at the same time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I didn't feel like I had the right support to help me learn and grow throughout my education.
Mm-hmm. And yet you managed to get through grade school, intermediate school, middle school, high school, graduated high school. Not too long ago. It's been a few
about 10 years ago.
10 years. All right. Nice. And so that, were there any points going through school where, you, I guess, doubted yourself, or, felt like, this was going to be, points in life where it was going to be too much to overcome?
Of course. As I said, by having a disability and being in that special ed room, I felt like I didn't have a voice, and I was constantly trying to find my own voice and to let everyone know that I'm more capable of achieving the things that I believe I could, and I just felt held back in that sense.
Yeah. Well, you proved yourself getting through high school, and came out of that kind of thinking sales might be the way for you, right?
Yes.
You're not an introvert. I've learned that about you.
Yes, I'm not shy at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And so after you got out of school, what was kind of the next step? Did you get into sales right away or have different jobs?
Yes, I did. After I graduated, I took some time off. I actually moved to New York City for about a year just to get some lifetime experience. And after I ran out of money, I moved back home and then I gave college a shot and I moved to Columbus, Ohio. And shortly after that, I realized college wasn't the best fit for me. So I decided to hire a public speaking coach, which has been a tremendous experience as I've learned so much from my coach. And she's the one that really pushed me to step outside of my comfort zone. And that's when I started to get into doing door-to-door and business-to-business sales.
So door-to-door business. So what were you selling at that point?
Door-to-door, I was selling AT&T and cell phones.
Mm-hmm. So funny you said that. I mean, I went door to door and sold AT&T myself at one point, so we have that in common. And then what was the business to business?
I was selling minor medical supplies and office supplies.
Okay. Do you experience any rejection through that?
Yes, I did.
I bet. I know for me that was some of the best sales experience I ever had was, just to learn to accept that objection and continue on. And so, would you say that experience had pretty positive impact on your life and where you're now?
Yes, it did. With having CP, I already had that mentality of people having opinions, what I can or cannot do. But I feel like that was an asset that I had going into sales. So that rejection never bothered me, but it kept me on my toes to keep knocking on those doors until I got a yes.
For sure. That's awesome. And so at what point did you start thinking about real estate as, kind of a potential path for you?
Of course. So as I was doing sales, I talked to one of my coworkers that happens to be in the business, and we had a conversation, and that kind of sparked my interest. Because one thing that I didn't necessarily like about door-to-door or business-to-business was it was difficult to build those client relationships because after you sell a product, you just move on to the next portion. And in real estate, I feel like you get the chance to build upon that relationship and continue to help them in the future.
Absolutely. And build that, people are going to move more than once, and then it's who do they know, right? That they might be able to refer you to, and you're doing a great job on their behalf. So awesome. Well, that's great. And so tell us about like the process of getting a license and getting from that thought of, hey, I want to consider getting into real estate to where you are in having finally got your license for the state of Ohio salesperson.
Yeah, so about a year ago, I decided to venture into this journey of getting my license, which I took the necessary classes, which I completed within 6 weeks, and it didn't. It took me over a year for me to accomplish this goal to get my license, which throughout that year, I felt like I was constantly tested mentally and physically just to get past this big challenge to get my license. And to me, I feel like all those individuals that thought I wouldn't be able to achieve anything when I was going through my education, I felt like that was a big motivation for me
Hmm.
to keep going.
Yeah. And I know it was a huge hurdle for you. Um, it took, I don't know how many times it took you to go through that, but one thing I'll never forget is, having those conversations with you where you had taken the test and it didn't work out, and the energy, the positive energy that you had in those conversations, and your smile, and you know you would say, oh, I will pass it. I will. You never had a doubt that you were going to get there. And it was just incredible to witness. And so I
Thank you.
appreciate having been a part of that journey with you. So,
Of course. Thank you so much.
yeah. And so a year later, you've done it. You're here. Congratulations again. And so what do what do you kind of hope to accomplish in the real estate industry?
Of course. Um, I want to keep learning as much as I can from all of you um, and all the successful agents so I can be successful myself. And then I also want to eventually invest in real estate and do some coaching on the side to help new agents that might be struggling with the exam or in the business. So I want to possibly help the next individual with a disability to um, to get their license um, and let them know that they can do it as well.
Absolutely. You've talked about, sharing and speaking about CP in general as well, and overcoming that in life. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. As years of public speaking has been a interest of mine, so I want to not only share my story with cerebral palsy, but I want to share what I can do despite of my CP. I don't want to just be a inspirational just because of my diagnosis. I want to give others that are struggling in any way to have the chance to overcome their challenges to achieve whatever they are trying to accomplish.
That's awesome. That's great. And yeah, I think the world can only benefit from hearing your story and from learning from your extraordinary mindset, having accomplished what you have. And yeah, I think to wrap up, I guess, why don't share, any thoughts on, for somebody out there who's, dealing with some challenges. Maybe it's just an everyday agent in our industry who's anxious, concerned, feeling stress about all of the changes in our business, market conditions. There's a lot of anxiety out there right now. What would you say to someone who's struggling to keep a positive mindset and how to overcome that?
Sure. The number one thing I would say is just try your best to put blinders on and to focus on what you have in your life and let all those stressors just float away, because anything that you worry about doesn't really matter at the end, because we tend to overthink about the what ifs instead of what can I do to accomplish that task or goal. So from my own experience, I feel like being able to talk to your team or whoever wants to listen, I feel like that's key, because I had difficulties sharing my CP growing up, and I just feel like having open dialogue with people helps release that stress and to come to a solution.
That's great. I really appreciate you sharing that. I don't know if you can see the comments here, Spencer, but you've had, some mentions. Great job, Spencer. Proud of you. Rima said, if he's not a testament to letting nothing stand in our way, I don't know who or what is. Wonderful inspiration. Thanks for the comments. And I guess we could open it up for any other comments or questions for Spencer. Otherwise, we can work towards wrap it up and moving on with our day. So, anything else you wanted to share, Spencer?
I think I pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
But I'll just say one more thing is go out there today and make an impact in someone's life, because you never know who is dealing with something that you can't see.
100%. 100%. Well, thanks a million, Spencer. Thanks for everyone for joining, and let's make it an awesome day and make an impact on someone's life today. Appreciate that message. Thanks, Spencer.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.